Hey, it's Chris and Brian. Chris, locked and loaded in on Windows 11. Chris, tell us a little bit about this article that you read, Windows 11. We talked about it the other day, but what's your take on this piece of writing here on Windows 11?
I don't think 70% of all Windows users are affected. But so yeah, no, they've since Windows 11's inception, they've said, hey, if you're on unsupported hardware, you might not get updates, you might not be able to upgrade.
Upside down, man.
What happened to my camera here?
Are you not on the latest version of Windows 11? Microsoft is flipping your camera?
No, what?
What happened?
Yeah, hold on. I didn't do that. I didn't even have the app open.
Oh, man. We're experiencing some technical difficulties.
I saw that. It flip me upside down.
The video equipment is a little too fancy on Chris's end. Chris, while you're messing with that, keep going with this Windows 11 article. Let's see if you can do chew gum and talk at the same time.
So, yes, if your computer's from 2017, say, right? 7th gen Intel, we're talking 7 years old, then yeah, it's not supported. There's Dell Optiplexes and Dell Latitudes that are from 2018-ish. They all support Windows 11. They all have TPM. They all have secure boot. So I think this is blown out of proportion. Nobody's a fan of to hear their computer's not supported. Microsoft just wants money, but same old song and dance. But like realistically, if you got 7 years out of the laptop, consider yourself lucky. Move on. Buy a new one.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Let me play devil's advocate to this anyway. Businesses especially. I can see a home user, but businesses, if you're more than 5 years old on a laptop. I mean, you get 3 to 5 years on a laptop, where you normally say, right? Yeah, I just don't. You're in the replace cycle anyway. I question the numbers, where they're getting the numbers from. I don't know if it says in there where this guy got his numbers from. But anyway, obviously, home users going to be up in arms, because the home users, they're trying to make their laptop they bought from Best Buy run for 10 years. And even nowadays, you're really stretching it, even for a home user. The thing's going to be so slow, and a lot of that stuff you get from Best Buy and whatnot, it doesn't even have 8 gigs of memory. Like, it's just, they're wondering why it crawls, right? Like, I have friends and family, they'll say, oh, like, I'll ask them, how long you had that laptop? Because it's really slow. You've had it for 7 years. You bought it from Best Buy. It's got 4 gig of memory. You got your money's worth. You probably paid $300 for it.
The thing is, too, though, is this happens in business. People go on Amazon and eBay, and they're not sure what they're looking for, so they think it's a new computer. But it turns they're buying a computer from 2014 and 2017 for a deal. So that also, but even Dell, if you get some basic Dell Latitudes and Dell Optiplex tower computers or small form factor, whatever the size, most of them from 2018, 2019 and beyond all support Windows 11. In fact, I have Windows 11 running on. We just staged one with it. So the processor, the memory, all that was from about 2018, and it supports Windows 11 just fine.
Yeah,
it's a security thing though. Secure boot, TPM. What's the other one we do a lot with when you encrypt the drive?
You need a chip on there that's TP 2.0 compatible, the proper TPM chip. That's one of the reasons.
Most modern processors though have that. It's software based. You don't need the standalone module. But yeah, any processor from Intel or AMD from about 2018 and beyond support that.
So just look for that when you're buying a system. But yeah, most of them should have it nowadays. Even if you're buying a refurb, a lot of them have TPM 2.0. But it's about having that hardware so Microsoft can make its software. They can harden their software. They're concerned about security. They're not concerned. Microsoft, it sells some hardware, but it's not about that, because most of their hardware is sold by third parties. So you can't say that Microsoft is just looking to sell hardware, because that's not the case. They're looking to make the whole thing, both the hardware and software, the firmware, all that stuff secure. And the only way they can do that is to keep the technology moving forward. Yeah, I know it stinks, but anyway, the things, like you said, the computer's not going to last that much longer anyway if you're using an old system like that.
Yeah, so they mentioned, according to Microsoft, TPM facilitates zero trust security. We know that's just a big buzzword lately. So the average end user is going to think they're like, what are they talking about? Zero trust. but it's important. The thing, they want to make Windows more secure. Windows is not, it's been a budding joke. Linux and Mac are more secure than Windows. This is them going into the step of locking down the operating system a bit more, because they also have something called VBS. And a lot of people, specifically people like gamers, will say, oh, my computer's crawling. VBS is virtualization-based security, because a lot of people use Hyper-V. So there's a lot of new security features that are coming down the pipeline with all these requirements, I guess you could say.
And it's just going in the same direction that Apple's been in for years. Nobody complains if you're an Apple user that you've got to go buy a new MacBook again in a few, because they always want to, those people tend to want to be on the latest and greatest. And so Apple can keep their hardware secure and their software more secure because they're constantly pushing out new systems and people are buying them.
They're in a closed ecosystem too, though.
But Microsoft is trying to do that a little bit. And without being money grubbing like Apple, they're trying to still making it cost effective. It's just, hey, get over it. Every few years, you need to upgrade your stuff. Almost.
This guy's also saying, he points out, by enforcing a hardware requirement, we can do more than ever to keep our users, products, and customers safe. He's saying it's a way to say your Windows 10 is less secure. And it is. Once it stops receiving security updates, it's completely less secure. It should not be in any environment. And that when end of life happens and they don't extend support, you should not keep it on any network unless it's like airtight, not connected to the internet. It's off. Then you can have it connected.
Yeah.
But there is something with VBS. There's another few things like memory integrity. There is actually things they're doing to bolster the security of Windows 11 that's not on Windows 10.
Right. And you need the newer hardware. Microsoft needs that in order to do these things. It's just a progression forward, right?
Yeah. The processor part of it is, so a lot of devices became incompatible at that date because those specific processors from Intel and AMD did not have the software-based TPM. That's what the big fuss is about. All these newer ones is called FTPM for AMD processors on Ryzen 2000 and newer, and then Intel 8th gen or newer, PTT. Intel PTT is the software-based. And then on top of that, you can also buy a dedicated TPM module that's not the actual security device. It all works the same though.
Yeah, easiest thing, upgrade your hardware every few years. You don't have to worry about it. Keep your systems running smoothly and secure. And it is what it is. It's the price of using technology. All right, Chris, I think we'll wrap it there. We'll include the link that you're showing here of this guy, and you can look at it yourself and think if this is a problem for you or not. All right, see you, Chris.